I'm Nat, and this is James. For over 2 years, we've been sailing the world aboard our floating home, Zephyr. Someone once said that every person can transform the world to one of excitement and adventure. Follow our adventure by clicking the subscribe button and make sure to hit the bell so you don't miss an episode. Become a patron by clicking the Patron logo. You will get early access to weekly videos, exclusive content, and much more. This week on Sailing Zephyr, it's time to slowly make our way back to Panama. What's happening?
We're on flight 2 of 5 to get back to Panama. We're in Vancouver and we're flying to LA to Miami, Miami to Panama, Panama City to Bocas. And right now, these guys are de-icing the wings because the wings are frozen and filled with ice, so they got to spray the wings so they can take off.
That's awesome. We finally land at our last destination. Now the countdown to being reunited with Zephyr really begins.
Well, that's it, guys. That is 5 flights, 38 hours of flying, 12 hours of delays. Our baggage actually didn't make it to Panama when we arrived. Fortunately, it got delivered this morning. And now we're just waiting at the dock here for the boat to the marina here in Bocas Marina. We're absolutely fried and super excited to get back to the boat and head to the Bahamas. All right, back at Zephyr, and at first glance we thought it looked pretty good, but there's so much mold. I guess that's to be expected when you're in Panama. Like, look at this. Ugh. But I guess that's pretty typical down here in the Caribbean. No resting now. We're going to clean all the mold off the walls quickly and the floor, and then we can slowly unpack and get settled and rest up. Let's start cleaning.
The next morning, after a horrendous day cleaning and a well-deserved sleep, we head into town to provision and to get the right epoxy to seal the crack in our water tank. Tell me what you want to...
Glue for polyethylene.
Epóxico así, doble. Esto transparente.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within, calling. This heavy load got under your skin, all in. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside. Heading for a collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey.
Oh, what's that one there as well?
Rubber, wood, repurposes for water tanks, asbestos and plastic, pools, fountains, boats and more.
Okay, so that...
We've got that one, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. That could be worth a try. I think I'm gonna get this. It's only $2.95. So.
Alright, let's get that one. Mil gracias. Hasta luego. I'm gonna throw that in. Luego. Hola.
Hola.
Para la marina.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, there ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep underneath all the laser, you're down.
It's a nice boat.
Yeah, pretty, yeah.
Yeah. Look how beautiful this is. Huh?
All the artwork, that's cool.
The slaw. I'm gonna need this.
Hello everyone, well it's part 2 of the old water tank saga. So for those of you that haven't seen the first episode where we discover a crack in our main water tank, the link will be up here, I think, or in the description. But go back and check it out. So essentially we have discovered a crack in the water tank down in this hole. I'm not sure if that's showing up. And we're going to try and seal it. So I did a lot of research online. Everybody's got an idea. But essentially I've got this glue, it's called plastic weld. And I'm going to put a layer on the outside, layer on the inside, and we'll see how it goes. Let's get stuck into it. Alright, first things first, I've got to figure out how I'm going to access that. It's actually in one of the worst possible spots it could be if I was going to have a bit of a crack on the water tank. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach this hose and this little wire here, and I think I'm just going to raise the water tank up a little bit so I don't have to disconnect everything. And I'm going to patch the outside, and then I can reach in through here to it quite easily through the main this main access sort of portal, and then I'll put a layer on the inside, and I'm going to let it cure for 24 hours. So we just got to remove a few things, so let's get started. Alright, well, let me turn this fan off for a second. Right, so, not so successful getting the entire tank up, so Beneteau, shame on you. I think this must have been your guys' Friday special. This cross brace that's down here, you were smart to screw in the right hand side from the top down, but then for some reason in your infinite wisdom you decide to put the screw for the other side from the bottom, which literally makes no sense because the only way to remove this brace now is to actually take all the flooring out from underneath of the cabinetry. Yeah, that's not great. But ultimately, not all is lost. I've been able to lift the tank up just high enough that it gives me a good access into the hull, and I can feel where that slight sort of, it's only like the smallest of hairline cracks, and it only starts to leak the water when the tank is absolutely full, and obviously it flexes a little bit, otherwise it doesn't leak. But it still needs to be repaired, doesn't it? So if you remember from the last video, we've already drained the tank, wiped it out, cleaned it, it's dried, it's been sitting here for a month, it's absolutely spotless inside. We're gonna have the best drinking water afterwards. I'm so excited. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix up some of this stuff. It's plastic weld. It's meant to be for semi-flexible plastics, which is excellent. Whether it's gonna work, we'll see. Wait. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. We gotta mask up. Now we can start. Alright, so we are gonna whip up some of this. We've got a piece of cardboard to mix it on. And I don't have any popsicle sticks, so I'm gonna take an old SIM card plastic thingy and I'm gonna cut it down. And that'll be my little stir stick, so to speak. And I'll use it to apply it as well. Alright everyone, the glue is done, outside, inside. I don't know whether that showed up on camera. I think my GoPro just overheated. But anyways, now we're just going to let it cure. It takes about 24 hours. So we'll let it sit, and then tomorrow have a look and maybe fill it with water. See how we go. Now I'm going to get all the glue off my hands. This is how sweaty you get when you're doing, I don't know if you can see this, working in the tropics. Good fun. Alright, look at the mess. That's what it takes just to do one small thing on a boat. Anybody that's worked on a boat or lived on a boat knows you got to blow up your boat basically just to do the smallest task, and every task takes twice as long as what you think it's going to take. Time to have some coffee and relax. Let's see what else is happening. Nat is washing the seats. Oh my gosh.
These are gonna look so good.
When was the last time we washed those properly?
Like a year ago, maybe. They were filthy, like black.
Yeah.
Of sweat and God knows what else. Food, vomit.
Oh my god.
Bit of everything.
Nice work, baby. Alright, on to some more jobs. Alright guys, well, the glue on the water tank has cured. I've checked it, it's perfect, so nice and hard. Feels like it's sealed pretty good. We're gonna wait until we get to Linton Bay before we fill it up, because we want to fill it up with water that we can actually drink. In Bocas here, you can't actually drink the water in the marinas, which not great. So I'm just rebuilding the bed, and it occurred to me the other week we had a cruiser who was asking us about mold under mattresses. And this can be a really common problem in places with a lot of humidity, or where it just rains a lot, and it's hot. And we actually started to get this problem, I think, when we were in the south of Spain. So what we did was we came up with the cheap solution, because the marine specific underlays for mattresses out there are so freaking expensive. Like anything that is marine, you know, just add a couple zeros on the end of the price. So what we did is we went to a garden center. We have a 3-layer system, which so far, even in Panama through the middle of summer, which was the most humid experience we've ever endured, not a single drop of mold underneath the mattresses. Perfect. So check it out. This is what we got. We have this plastic meshy stuff, which is fantastic. So we run this all the way to the edge. You can see it runs up the back as well. And what that does is that creates the airflow underneath the whole system. And then we have this padded stuff. This is great. So as you can see, it's got ridges in it, and it's not very thick. I think it's a couple millimeters thick. And this also allows airflow. So that goes down over top of the mesh. And then we have these bad boys. These are just your bog standard plastic garden tiles. I don't even remember how cheap they were, but it was ridiculous how cheap they were. And all I did to add extra airflow was just drill 4 holes staggered in each tile, and we just lay those down. They all click together across the top of the bed, and that's it. Not a drop of mold. So if you're looking for some pretty cheap solutions to create good airflow under your mattresses without all that squeaking and creaking and, you know, whatever else makes a lot of sound underneath your bed, then yeah, hit up a garden center. Perfect. Anyways, gonna keep rebuilding the bed, put it back together, get the mattresses on, and then yeah, on to the next job.
That afternoon we leave the marina, and of course, just as we're about to leave, the wind picks right up. To make matters worse, just as I'm about to release the anchor, I realize the Windlass is struggling to let chain out. So we leave the anchorage, and James sets about trying to figure out what's wrong before heading back in and re-anchoring.
Well, that was an absolute nightmare. Our windlass, there's like this little metal piece that sticks out like this towards the drum, and it looks a little bent. I don't know, but basically when we try to lower the chain, it would catch. So that was like kind of panic mode, because the anchor only went a few feet. So Natalie was quick on the helm, and she drove us out to some deeper water away from all the boats, and I managed to just remove that piece of metal, and we were able to lower the anchor, and we're all down and safe. And now I'll try and either see what's wrong with that metal piece, or might have to order a new part. But yeah, that was a nightmare. Good morning, everyone. Well, we have woken up way too late today. I think we were just so exhausted from all the flying and then just working non-stop since we arrived.
Okay, let's see if this new prop works.
Oh yeah, so the new propeller is on, guys. anybody coming to Bocas del Toro, the lanchas are mental here. They run everywhere, they cut through the anchorages.
If you are new to our channel, consider subscribing so you can join the adventure each week aboard Zephyr.
If you would like early access to weekly videos, bonus content, and free merch, click the Patron logo here. This journey is only made possible thanks to our amazing patrons.